not know why sannyas is accepted. Because of misunderstanding, they think that one accepts sannyas to escape social responsibility, but one does not accept sannyas to escape from responsibility to society. Generally, one accepts sannyas at the fourth stage of spiritual life. One begins as a brahmachari, then becomes a grihastha, a vanaprastha, and finally a sannyasi to take advantage of the duration of one's life by engaging oneself fully in self realization. Sannyas does not mean begging from door to door to accumulate money for sense gratification. However, because in Kali Yuga people are more or less prone to sense gratification, immature sannyas is not recommended. Srila Rupa Goswami writes in the Nectar of Instruction. So maybe stop here so someone else can read the next portion. So basically, a comparison is given in the Vedic society and the modern society. Everyone is hungry, hankering for two things as per this verse, prestige and money. And because of that, intelligent people, it's mentioned, intelligent people should give up the cause of what? The cause of all the lamentation, the fear, illusion, attachment, and unnecessary labor is what? The desire to seek more prestige, more name, fame, recognition, and more money. And what does it bring? It brings all the problems. Shoka, moha, bhaya, krodha, attachment. So an intelligent person should give those up. That means Prabhupada is recommending here, in the olden Vedic society, everyone was doing their needful. They were doing the labor. It's not that they were lazy. They would do the dutiful, simple living and high thinking principle. So yes, we all must endeavor. But in the previous verse, we also discussed that endeavoring for Kṛṣṇa is the best thing. But one should not be attached to unnecessary prestige or desire to seek prestige or money. That just adds to our problems, all the problems mentioned here. So simple living, high thinking is the principle as per the first half of the purport. And one must, as Prabhupada is in the second half paragraph is talking about sannyas, because everyone is thinking about money. So even if sannyasi comes, the first thing is that this person has come to beg something, because we look the world in our own consciousness. The world is a reflection of our own consciousness. So if a devotee comes, he must have some hidden agenda to get my money because of attachment to money. A sannyasi does not wander door to door to collect money. Even if they are collecting money for something like a temple building or Janmashtami or anything, it's an opportunity for the person to purify themselves by giving something to the sannyasi. It is not for sannyasi's personal sense gratification. It is for Kṛṣṇa. But very few people think like that. Many people think like, he has come to take my money. Why? Because attachment. So let's see what Srila Rupa Goswami is writing. Someone who has not read so far this week would like to read, please. Kashish Mataji, you want to read?
Hey Krishna Prabhuji, for sure I'll read. Athyadrasa prajalapo niyamtagraha jana sangarsha cha lolyam cha sadabhirbhaktir vinyasyati. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities: eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required, over enduring for mundane things that are very difficult to attain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Fifth, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And sixth, being greedy for mundane achievements. A sannyasi should have an institution meant to preach Krishna consciousness. He need not accumulate money for himself. We recommend that as soon as money accumulates in our Krishna consciousness movement, 50% of it should be invested in printing books and 50% for expenditures, especially in establishing centers all over the world. The managers of the Krishna consciousness movement should be extremely cautious in regarding to this point. Otherwise, money will be the cause of lamentation, illusion, fear, anger, material attachment, material poverty, and unnecessary hard work. When I was alone in Vrindavana, I never attempted to construct mathas or temples. Rather, I was fully satisfied with the small amount of money I could gather by selling back to Godhead. And thus I would provide for myself and also print literature. When I went to foreign countries, I lived according to the same principle. But when Europeans and Americans began to give money profusely, I and deity worship. The same principle should still be followed. Whatever money is collected should be spent for Krishna and not a fathering for sense gratification. This is the Bhagvata principle. So these are the certain principles that we are supposed to follow. That what when we are rendering our service, it should be by our heart and soul, not for the sake of showing to others. And Gurudev has given instructions for the people that when they are into Krishna consciousness, their only aim should be to spread the preachings by book distribution, and not even single penny should be spent on their personal sense gratification. And they are considered as fallen victims if they have even the thought in their mind. So these are the guidelines that we should follow and stick to throughout our life. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. So, as per Rupa Goswami's this Nectar of Instruction, second verse, 6 principles are given, the do's and don'ts. For here, more don'ts are given, what we should not do: overeating, over endeavoring, talking unnecessary about mundane things, gossiping, backbiting, criticizing, following the rules just for the sake of following, without understanding the principle, without understanding. I mean, the purpose of all rules and regulations is to bring us closer to Krishna, to help us remember Krishna. Sarve vidhi nishedasya etayo eva kinkara. All the do's and don'ts are like subservient to Satatam Smartavya Vishnu. So, can anyone give example of following rules for the sake of following? Anyone?
Paying taxes, Prabhuji.
Paying taxes, okay. Not quite aligned in this situation. It's fine. It's kind of a duty. It's
Prabhuji, I would like to say, share my experience. Hare Krishna, everybody. So we have been taught so bringing up in the family, we have been taught we have to do puja in the morning and arti in the evening, but never taught us like why and the meaning behind why and why are we doing and what is the purpose, all those things we were just following just because we were told to follow. So and then all the rituals, whatever we have been following, even the Navratri puja, we are doing it to be honest, I don't know all the 9 days what we do and how we follow. We are doing Navratri Puja just for the sake of doing it because we have been taught and that's our culture. So that's my experience.
That's a very good example. Thank you for sharing. Yes,
Sure.
following the ritualistic processes and not knowing why I'm doing it. What is the spiritual significance behind it? Or any other examples anyone would like to share? Following the rules and regulations just for the sake of while not understanding the essence.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Even chanting Prabhuji, at the beginning you say we have to do 16 rounds chanting. Sometimes it goes like mechanically, we keeps on chanting without knowing the spirit. And when we know about how to chant, we have to hear the words, we have to think that Krishna is in the name form. And when we feel the essence of it, then the chanting improves. So initially when we don't know the understanding of it, we just do like mechanically. So I think so, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah, this chanting is kind of a little different scenario. If one is under good guidance, if one is chanting, like if one is following, for example, a child may not know what is this arti, why we should, put agarbatti around or incense around Krishna's body and the lamp, offer lamp, why we should do. But if one is falling under good guidance, then it will have the right effect. And at the right time, Krishna will reveal also. So yes, initially in the beginning, many of us may start doing things which we may not know all the essence, which is absolutely fine if we are following the right Guru Sadhu Shastra. If we are following the wrong Guru Sadhu Shastra, not following the teacher but the cheater, then there will be no spiritual effect. Like just ring the bell or without having a spiritual meaning or without even offering arti or just like worshipping any stone will not have the effect as worshipping Govardhan Shila. So, okay, that person, that devotee worships stone. I'm also worshipping stone, but not knowing that that stone is not the same stone as any other ordinary stone. So, yeah, all these are great examples. If we are following in the right Guru Sadhu Shastra, and gradually we inquire what is chanting, why do we offer arti, when should we offer arti, why do we chant at this time, and why do we offer incense and lamp, etc. The famous example is like a cat. I've shared this story multiple times. When the girl was getting married, they had a cat in their family. The mother got a basket and put the cat in the basket so that the cat does not disturb the festivities. So the girl didn't never ask the question, and I thought maybe it's a ritual, like marriages have a lot of ritualistic processes and then yagyas and this and that. So now the girl went to, her new home. She got children. She got a girl. Her child came at a manageable age, and then now it was her marriage. Now they didn't have a girl at their home, but she thought, oh, my mother, just before the marriage was about to begin, put the girl in the basket, and therefore everything went perfect. So I better get a cat, put in the basket, and then the marriage will go perfect. And she got a cat, she got a basket, and the marriage happened. Everything went smoothly. Now this girl went to her new home, and she got children. She got a girl, and it was her girl's marriage. Now she did the same process. So it became a parampara, wrong parampara. So rules and regulations are there to help us to grow closer to Krishna. And then Lolyam, being greedy for mundane activities, and Janasangas, one should give up the bad association. If we think, oh, I can still hang out with my friends who drink and smoke and have wrong habits, I will go to the bar, but I'll just take a lemonade there and let them drink alcohol. We are in big hallucination. So now, we are all working, most of us. So there could be situations you have to attend, office activities and stuff. So we have to intelligently handle those situations and do the needful, and be very, very careful, especially when we are in a not conducive environment. We are not in our natural grounds, so we are more vulnerable. So we have to be extra careful there. Any other comments, questions anyone has on this topic before we move on?
Prabhuji, so is it okay to go to the office parties? But that's what I do. I travel most of the times. So I do that. So is that okay, or maybe slowly I have to reduce that also, right, Prabhuji?
So there is no like black and white answer. We have to understand like what is really necessary, so that they don't, it should not affect our job. At the same time, it's not that we have to attend every social function. So striking the right balance may be different. Like someone may have only one party in a year, and if once, and some may have like one party every week. So every office is different, and the nature of party could also be different. Something could be just some. Uh, so one has to really like understand their respective situation, and it could be different in different scenarios. Does that, I know it's not like
Yes,
there's
Prabhuji.
no
Yes.
like black and white thing like attend or don't attend, but we have to intelligently strike the balance. If we, let's say if they have every month something, then it's okay if we miss a few and attend the major ones where our, like doing things for the sake of doing. That we can do ritualistically. So we take a lemonade and drink that for 1 hour. That's fine over there. Over there we have to do ritualistically so that people don't feel, oh, I'm good. I'm good. You carry on. I'm good. So, and if we, eat beforehand, then we will not, if our belly is filled with nice prasadam beforehand, then we will not even crave for anything. We'll just be happy with water there or lemonade or something like that. So then we can have normal talks, which are like office talks, and so that we don't, again, always remembering that we are Krishna's representative. We are Prabhupada's representatives. Even though we are in an office setting, we have to, it's not that everyone is like kind of doing something inappropriate and we also start doing the same things. We have to always remember that I am Krishna's servant and I'm representing that even if I'm in the office dress or in a social setting or in a, the principles, people will respect that this man is a man of integrity and values, and then like one good example coming to my mind, there was a devotee in Singapore. He was sharing the story, and office parties sometimes in India they go really bad. I mean, a lot of wrong things happen actually, even like adultery and all the lot of wrong things happen actually. We are degrading very fast in our culture. Someone was telling me they force the new employees, the young girls, boys, deliberately they force alcohol in their mouth, and if they don't drink, and then they have to get layoffs, and it was very, very degrading actually. So fortunately, I would say in US it's not at that level. People respect one's choices, whether you are vegetarian or vegan. They respect whether you, drink or don't drink. They respect that, which is good in one way. So yeah, Singapore story I was sharing, that one devotee, his manager knew that this person, like everyone in the office knows that I don't eat certain things and I eat certain things. Everyone knows. So it's not a question of a new thing. So even if I have to go once in a blue moon, they know what I'll eat. Rabbit food as per their, maybe just some cucumber or something I'll eat and I'll be happy. So this devotee also was, their manager, everyone knew. And that this person is has certain principles. And now he was at the parking lot and he met his manager about to go for another party after, and this manager told that I didn't expect you at this party. So then he was sharing, Krishna told me through the mouth of my manager that this party is not meant for me. So because there was wrong things going on, and I don't want to go in all the details, but if we have sincerity, the right balance we have to strike. If we go in everything without discrimination, this will certainly take us in the wrong side. But if we become a socially outcast and people will feel that this person maybe is not the right stuff for the company, then let's kick him out. We don't want that either, because we want to take care of our family. Krishna serve with that money, and take care. Striking a right balance is the key. Sorry for the long response. Any other comments, questions? Okay, let's read next verse. Who has not got chance this week would like to read text 35. Please raise your hand if you have not read and would you like to read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam, I can read.
Yes, please.
Canto 7, text 13. Mudhakaro maha sharpo lokashmino guru tamo vairagam puritasham cha praptayach chikshayo bhayam. Translation by His Divine Grace, S. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The bee and the python are two excellent spiritual masters who give us exemplary instructions regarding how to be satisfied by collecting only a little and how to stay in one place and not move. So through nature, we can learn so many things, like bee who always gets the honey even from a dirty place where only a flower is blooming. Same thing, the python also, they stay in one place sometimes when there's a big python, especially in Florida, which there is a call, I think, Burmese python. They're big and huge. They cannot even move. So they stay in one place, and whatever comes in their way, they are satisfied and live on it. So as a devotee, we can learn these good things from these two nature, insect and animals, and that can help in our spiritual progress. Back to Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So that's a quality of the great Brahmana here, that he is being introspective. If one is introspective, one will learn from the things which ordinarily, so many people see bees, so many people see pythons, so many people see trees, but very rare souls only learn from those. So we can learn from anyone and everyone. Everyone has something to teach us. That's the consciousness of Yudhishthira Maharaj, seeing the good in even the worst situation. So let's see what they learned, what the Avaduta learned from the bee and what he learned from the python as his Shiksha Gurus. Yes, Rakesh Prabhu, you want to read 36? Rakesh Prabhu, you want to read, please? Okay, Kirti Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Dandavat pranam to everyone. Text 36. Viraga sarva kamebhya shikshito me vaduvratat kruchaptam madhuvidvatam hatva panyo haretvatim. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. From the bumblebee, I have learned to be unattached to accumulating money. For although money is good as honey, anyone can kill its owner and take it away. Purport. The honey gathered in the comb is taken away by force. Therefore, one who accumulates money should realize that he may be harassed by the government or by the thieves, or even killed by enemies. especially in the age of Kali Yuga. It is said that instead of protecting the money of the citizens, the government itself will take away the money with the force of law. The learned Brahmana had therefore decided that he should not accumulate any money. One should own as much as he immediately needs. There is no need to keep big balance at hand, along with the fear that it may be plundered by the government or by the thieves. So, Dandavat Pranam to everyone. This is very nice text, and purport is given by Prabhupada ji is really wonderful. He has given the example of honey and money. Like a bumblebee just gathered the honey, which whatever she wants, but exactly opposite is like materialistic people. Means they earn the money, lot of money, but at the end of the year, they have to pay the heavy taxes to the government. And the way Prabhupada has told before that if you are earning the money, use it for the Krishna consciousness, like printing books, giving donation to the temple, and preaching the Krishna consciousness. And here they have given the example that although someone is earning lot of money, that will be get by the government or by the thieves, or somebody will take it and they can kill the owner itself. So we have seen like lot of example nowadays, and in the history also this happened. Like in Kaurava Pandavas situation, the biggest part was they were fighting. Like Duryodhana was fighting for the king. He wanted to become a prince of the Kuru Vangsha, and he was fighting with the Pandavas, and he was just like uh, at such moment he was tried to kill Pandava in the Laksha Gruha, and number of places he has done. So that is like a example in the history that brother also fight for the money and wealth, property. So that is the example Krishna has given us, and he showed that this could happen with this example. So we need to be very careful, and that's what we have to learn from that episode to get progress in our life and our devotional service. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. The Rakshak has become Bhakshak. We discussed this. One of the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Rakshak means protector. The kings and the government is supposed to protect the citizens, but the Rakshak, the protector, has become the exploiter by levying heavy taxes and not giving the right protection. It's okay. I mean, in the Vedic culture also, the kings would levy taxes, but they would take care of the citizens as their own children. And not just the humans, but even the animals, dogs, birds, everyone, anyone. So the idea is to not be too much attached, because Kaya, Kanchan, Kamini, and Karuna, the four stories, the story of four man with four wives. The Kanchan represents money or gold in any form, whether it is now in modern day, the money could be in so many forms, whether it is gold or virtual currency or some investment or so-called direct deposit. I don't know, like there are 100 types of different ways, but all of them are prone to be taken away by thieves and or by other government relatives. The moment we die, or even if someone has to say, throughout the life one may be able to keep, but what will at the time of death, they will remarry. They will go to someone else. So one should not over endeavor spending one's precious energy just in earning money. Yes, we must do the dutiful endeavor, job, business, whatever It should not be, okay, 7 days, 14 hours a day, and every day just money, 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 and no time for bhakti, no time for anything else. That is not the Bhagavatam's idea. Any other comments, questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. So this reminds the story of Shamatanka jewel in Krishna book itself. And Krishna really showed this by example, how we should not be attached. What Satrajit, king, father of Satyabhama, Jambavan, Prasanna, Satrajit's son, the lion, everything that it shows how the Shamatanka jewel went from one hand to another hand, and how everybody got attached to it. In fact, in this pastime, there is also a pure devotee involved. And of course, we'll come to this later, and I don't want to name the names, but this is the chapter, Krishna book, chapter 58, 56. And it's a very nice pastime about how this jewel, which was producing quantities of gold every day, which was being worshipped in the palace of Satrajit, became a cause of big lamentation, like Prabhupada just said in the previous purport. And this really shows like the attachment to this jewel caused even Jambavan to fight with Krishna, and the pure devotee to have a get diluted for a little time. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Very, very wonderful story. Anyone else has any other comments? Yes, Rakesh Prabhu, do you want to read? Is that the reason you have raised your hand?
Yes, Prabhu. I was on mute earlier. Okay.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Text 37. Aniha paritushtatma yatra chopanathat aham nochak cheye bhava ahani mahahir iva satvavan. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. I do not endeavor to get anything, but I am satisfied with whatever is achieved in its own way. If I do not get anything, I am patient and unagitated like a python and lie down in this way for many days. Purport. One should learn detachment from the bumblebees, for they collect drops of honey here and there and keep it in their honeycomb. But then someone comes and by force takes all the honey away, leaving the bumblebees with nothing. Therefore, one should learn from the bumblebee not to keep more money than one needs. Similarly, one should learn from the python to stay in one place for many, many days without food and then eat only if something comes in its own way. Thus, the learned Brahmana gave instructions gained from two creatures, namely the bumblebee and python. Prabhuji, back to you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So in the previous verse, we discussed about bumblebee. Prabhupada is sharing again to not over endeavor, to not just focus on now, like we are living in this Kali Yuga, so it should, His Grace Ananda Vrindavan Prabhu actually is helping so many devotees to plan their finances. So yes, Bhagavatam is, we don't have to follow the Python man example, but a nice balance is required. So what Prabhuji mentions, and then actually even in the Chaitanya Leela, there was a person, I'm forgetting the names, that he was such a selfless person that he would completely be dependent on Krishna. I think the Mother knows Srivas Thakur. And then Lord Chaitanya told someone to manage the finances for him, because he is on one extreme. He's so dependent on Krishna, basically like Python man, that Krishna will send. But Lord Chaitanya personally told, I think, who was that? Shivananda Saint, I believe, to help him in manage his finances because he was on the other extreme. Well, in this day and age, we don't see, or maybe there could be a few rare souls who are completely like giving 100% to Krishna. But the idea is what His Grace Anandandavan Prabhu mentions, that yes, the money must be rightly managed. A portion for Krishna conscious activities, a portion for one's taking care of the home, rent, mortgage. The idea is simple living, because there is no upper bound, there is no end to one's desires. One can live in a small place and one can live in a multi-million-dollar mansion also. So there is no upper limit. One can drive in a normal car which does the purpose, and one can drive in a $200,000 car also. So the idea is to not live without. It's a very practical topic actually. To be I mean, we don't talk much about this in our Bhagavatam class, but I was reading some article. The American culture is to live with beyond their means, and that's why the credit card companies are booming, because they rather offer rewards. Okay, you spend $100, you get $2 reward, something like that. But why do so many people have huge debts? Because of their personal bad habits of overspending. Atyahara, prayasascha. I want that Rolex watch. I want that latest car. I want that latest gadget. But bhakti is to live simply and to utilize, to get things which was really required to help us to make spiritual progress. Will the Rolex watch help me to make spiritual progress? Or is it something so I can show, oh, I have a Rolex watch in my hand, so I am the proud owner of Rolex. And then I will pay credit card bills every month, $200 for the next 5 years, so that I can show I have a Rolex watch. So devotees must plan back to Anandandavan Prabhu's example. So we have to plan our system nicely so that we are not working till the fag end of our life. That's one thing. So we can, at the age of 50 years or 55 or 60, that could vary based on one's situation, spiritual desires, and a lot of situations, family situations, personal situations, health situations. But the idea is early retirement. One should plan for early retirement. One should not work till 60 years, 65 years, because that's the last phase of our life. We want to engage more actively in Krishna consciousness. Early retirement doesn't mean, okay, I'll just relax on the beach in Florida. That means I will focus more on chanting, reading, hearing, serving. That should be the idea. And that needs balance. Now, that does not mean that we've just focused on, oh, I have to retire early, so let me just save, like the bee. And then suddenly something can happen, and then boom, it will be wiped out. Like the person will come and take all the honey. Yes, we have to do a portion of saving. At the same time, we have to use a portion in spiritual activities, portion in taking care of the family, portion in different aspects. It's a very big topic. If you want to hear lectures by Anandandavan Prabhu, please hear. I highly recommend. They are open. They're all available on YouTube. But his idea, and he's a very senior disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, who talks about financial planning for devotees especially. So I would encourage everyone to hear those lectures. And I'm open to discussions as well, one-to-one also, if someone wants to discuss. Any comments, questions? Okay, the idea is striking the balance, which is the difficult. The balance is one small word, but quite difficult too. The extremes are always easy. To be lazy and say, oh, Krishna wants, I'll take, he'll get food to me, I'll get a job if Krishna wants. The other extreme is just save future. We don't know what will happen. I don't know what will happen tomorrow. This will happen, that will happen. That's also anxiety. Just save everything, save everything. He asked this question to Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Maharaj, should I just focus on working extra now? I'm in my youth. Let me work every day 4 hours more and focus more on saving, and I will attend less classes, less little chanting, and they'll just I'll minimize my spiritual activities now and donations, etc. And then I will, instead of retiring at 50, I can retire at maybe 40. Maharaj said, how do you know if you're going to live 40 years? Right? What if we are wiped out before 40? How many of us can say? But those are already, we don't know what will come in future. So yes, we have to plan for the future, but without compromising the present. If we compromise the spiritual activities now, saying that, okay, after 40 years, I'll take fully retired, 45, 50 years, I'll fully retire and just focus. Can we ascertain for sure that I will be there at that age? Even if I'm there, my interest will not be there. Because if I'm focusing, over endeavoring for money now, do you think that the switch will be easy and just at the age of 50, the switch will on, okay, money switch off, bhakti switch on, and I'll become pure devotee? No. So we are preparing ourselves. Yes, I have attachment. Yes, I am a conditioned soul. Yes, I have shortcomings, but I am endeavoring. So gradually I can, in the next few years, decades, I can purify and get more attachment towards bhakti and less attachment towards materialistic things. Any other comments before we stop for today? Okay, so I guess we will stop here and continue tomorrow with the next verse. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai,
Jai.
Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda
Jai.
ki jai,
Jai.
Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo. So much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.